Hello. Sorry that I am starting late. I had everything set up to start on my laptop and couldn't get my webcam to work. So, my name is Liz Baublet, and I am here to help share some information about the Square family of apps and help hopefully streamline your process a little bit as far as taking orders, receiving orders, getting them paid for, getting them picked up on time, and streamlining your pre-sale process. So I have thought about how I'm going to organize this live and how I'm going to do things and what I'm going to say probably 45 times and changed my mind 100 times. So I think what's probably going to be best is if I walk you through my process for custom orders and for pre-sales, and then just kind of open the floor for questions. And I'm going to try and figure out how to see comments and stuff on my phone because I have no idea. Swipe left. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. But, hey, thank you, Heather. Okay, cool. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do, I had every intention of showing you on my phone while I was doing stuff, but I am now on my phone broadcasting. So, if you guys have your phones with you or you can do all this online, some of it I find easier on my phone versus online. I do have everything set up on my computer in front of me. I can turn everything around and show you in a second. But I guess the first thing I would tell you is the 3 apps to download onto your phone. That's going to be the Square POS app, the Square Invoices app, and the Square Appointments app. They have more. I use the dashboard app every so often. It's more for you to know, just kind of if you're being nosy for your own stuff, which is totally fine. I am nosy as well. It just doesn't really help streamline anything. So I guess those 3 apps would be the first 3 to keep on your phone. The way that I do I'm not taking custom orders this year, but the way I did them last year was I would have my customers fill out my Google form. There is a way that you can have a form in your Square website. I didn't love that one as much as I like the way that you can manipulate a Google form. I keep my terms and conditions in my Google form. So they have to click that they understand that they're picking up from a home bakery, that they understand that I'm going to put the stuff out 10 minutes before pickup and it's staying there unless you tell me, hey, I had this emergency, or hey, I'm running late, whatever the situation is, can you bring them back inside and I'll come get them at this time. I need them to check all of those before they can submit the order request, so that's why I use Google Forms for that. But once I got a form submitted, I would then turn around and take the information, name, what I'm invoicing them for, their email address, and then put that into an invoice. So I'm going to show you, it's real up close and personal with my face, what it looks like on the computer. It looks pretty similar on your phone. It's the same process. So this is how you would start an invoice. You put the customer's name in here. I'm going to use Abby. Invoice title, I usually would title it baby shower cookies or wedding shower cookies, or insert Jackson's birthday cookies here, whatever. The invoice ID populates automatically. You can change that if you want to. You can also change the message. The date of service is new, but I really like that this is in there now. So if I'm invoicing, my customers have to pay everything a week before their due date. So I can say, okay, I understand that your cookies aren't until Valentine's Day, but they are going to be, I'm going to send you the invoice right now, and they are going to be due the week before Valentine's Day, whatever. If you want this to be a recurring thing, if you guys do some kind of subscription service, you can do it to where you set your every month on whatever day kind of thing. I don't do that, so I've never really messed around with it, but it is an option there if that is something that you're interested in. Here's where you can add your line items. So I could say they want a floral birthday set. I think this is 18 cookies. And they also want a I love you set, here's their total. I'm in Texas, so we don't do sales tax on baked goods, so I don't have that. You can set your taxes there if you want to. If they've got a card on file, you can have them keep one on file. I don't have my customers do that unless they want to. You can pick how you're going to get paid if you accept gift cards. I like that they just added an ACH bank transfer. They can also do, I think it's all major credit cards plus Cash App, Google Pay, and Apple Pay. You can add if they want a tip. If they don't, that's totally up to you, however you want to run your business. I am not brave enough to turn it on yet, but that's a goal that I'd like to get to by the end of the year. You can collect their phone numbers if you want to, and it can email or text to them. I have an email address. This is my favorite part, I think. So if I'm invoicing you for 2 months down the road, you're going to forget about it, and that's totally fine. I would forget about it too. So this will say 7 days before it's due. So in my case, and this is just the way I run my business, you guys may do it differently. You can do 7 days before the due date on the due date, and then if it goes after, it still reminds them. They have to kind of try to forget at this point. Here's where you can add an attachment or a custom field. There is also a way, let's do that you can add a contract. And I don't think you can do it with a recurring series. Oop, there we go. Here, you can add a square contract. Again, I don't use this. I want to say this is a newer feature, but I did play around with it a little bit last night, and I do think if I start taking customs again later on this year or next year or whatever, I'll go this route. It's really, really editable. It would take the terms and conditions that I know we have in the cookie contract, and you can go ahead and put that in your contract on Square so that your customers have to see it. So I'm going to read through the comments real quick and just see if I'm missing anything, because I am multitasking and not doing it well. Yeah, the appointments app, I'm going to show you guys that one in just a second. I know I need to turn on the tips. I'm just not brave enough. I'm not there yet. Y'all are, I love seeing when y'all get tips and how brave you guys are with everything like that. I'll get there. We'll see. I'm not really sending invoices right now. So hopefully when I take customs again, that'll just be one fell swoop. All right. So the way I would do things, I would get the Google form, I would send the invoice, and I would tell my customers, here, you're going to get 2 emails from me. You're going to get an invoice, and then you're going to get pickup information. Because what is the number one thing that you always get? Where is pickup? What time is pickup? Where is pickup? This, I would love to tell you, eliminates that completely. It does not. However, I have found that people are more likely to show up on time and have less questions as to where they're supposed to go, and you don't have to get blue in the face giving out your address a bajillion times, telling people how to get there, whatever the situation may be. So the next thing I do, like I said, is send an appointment. I don't have much on here because I'm not taking customs right now, but this is what it looks like. This is a friend of mine, so I made an exception for her. When you go to book an appointment, you click create appointment. You put in the customer's name, their email address and phone number if you've got it, date and time of pickup, and then you set your services. I have mine. I just have an order pickup in there. It doesn't cost them anything to drive to my house. I block off a 30-minute window for them to come pick things up, and then I save it. But basically what that will do, it's real easy. It takes me 2 seconds. I think it's even easier on the phone. What that will do is it will send them an email that says, hey, your appointment is confirmed. Yay. And it also has a link, a hyperlink with your address. So they click it and they get driving directions. It will also, you can set your parameters on how you want them notified, but I have mine set to 24 hours prior. It sends them another email and a text message if they have their phone number on file. And it'll say, hey, your appointment's coming up in this much time. Yay. And I like that. I think it kind of puts you back on people's radar, especially if you're booking up pretty quickly and pretty far out in advance. It's easy to forget, and it's easy to, give grace. People do that all the time. I forget things all the time. So it's easier for them to go, oh, I do need to do that tomorrow. I'll add that to my list of errands kind of thing. It's not foolproof, but it helps a little bit, I think. All those apps pulled together. They are all, if you're on a computer, yes, they are all on your Square dashboard. So this is what mine looks like. We've got invoices right here, appointments. You've got your online store. You can edit your contracts. You can see your items. You can run reports. All of that is all right here when you're on the computer. When you're on your phone, it's not the same. You have an invoices app, and that's the icon, an appointments app. And then the Square online and items, actually basically everything else is all pulled into the Square POS app. And that is where I run my pre-sales. So that's how I handle customs, is invoice and appointment, just so that they get that extra reminder. For pre-sales, I load everything into my website. It's not the paid version. This is all free. I am super, super cheap. I don't pay for anything I don't have to pay for. So they take their fees, and that's fine. And it's well worth it. You get a free website with it. You get free access to all of these apps. Free. It's obviously they have their fees, but that's totally fine. I think it's well worth the fees. Excuse me. I am in Texas, and we are dealing with cedar allergies. So that's all this is, but it is wrecking my throat. If you're on your phone and you're downloading this three, yes, I am. So the Square POS, I wish I could show you. I'm so sorry I could not figure this out on my phone or on my laptop, and then I don't have a webcam on my computer. But I will link screenshots, or I'll put screenshots in the comments of what all the apps look like afterwards. But yes, it is 3 different apps. Square is free, Miranda. There is a paid version. There is an upgrade that you can do. I don't use it. I haven't even looked into it because I'm really happy with what I get for all this, for the free stuff. They do take a fee for each credit card process. I think it's 2.9%, maybe. I should probably know that off the top of my head, but I don't. There is a percentage for them to charge your credit card. It's a smaller percentage if they do an ACH transfer. So it's not free, but it is free. You don't have to pay a monthly subscription to use it or anything like that. You can, but I don't use that version. Okay, so when I do pre-sales, I load everything into my Square site. I hide all the items. I send teasers, hey, yay, this is coming in the next few days, pay attention. My email list gets everything a week early. I'm trying to get off social media at some point. We'll see. But I'm trying to drive people to want to be part of the email list. So that they get everything a week early. You keep everything hidden. You can link in the Square marketing. I'll show you here. Oop. There's a marketing tab down here. And you can send email campaigns. I haven't done Facebook campaigns yet, so I'm not really sure what all that does, but you can. I have none active right now. I sent them all out. But this is my Valentine's campaign. So I sent it out with a preview. I don't know if I can see. Here we go. So this is what I sent out to my email list subscribers. Quick little blurb. Here's all my stuff. Here's a link to it. You can click and purchase this stuff early. My email list gets, like I said, they get these a week early. They can start purchasing because they have the link. Everything is loaded and ready in my Square site, but it's hidden. So if you go to the website, it is not, it looks like there's nothing there. But if you have the specific link in the email, then you get access to that early. So once those emails or once those orders start rolling in, it is all, this is actually where I prefer it on my phone. I'm not wild about the way that it's organized online. But I do like when it comes time to start doing pickups. I will answer these questions here in just a second. But when it comes time to start doing pickups, you can mark that the order is in progress and that it's ready and that it's been picked up, and it notifies the customer every time. So if I say, like, I've got an order that's picking up tomorrow, so I can mark it, it's done already, but the customer doesn't even know that just yet. So I would today mark it that it is in progress tonight, or as soon as it's bagged up and bowed up and ready to go, I would mark that it is ready. The only thing I would caution you with that one is I have found that my customers take that to mean, oh crap, I gotta go now. So there have been times that I have marked my items ready when they are, but they're not required, it's hours before their pickup. That doesn't happen every time, but sometimes I do have it together and I do get things done a little early. So I have I kind of, for me, I don't mark them ready too early, just so that they don't think that they have to like drop everything they're doing and come get their cookies. It's not that big of a deal. But I do like the little reminders that it sends. And I have had people be like, oh crap, I totally forgot. I would have just not come and got my cookies, but I got a text message and I'm on my way. But this is what it looks like. Sorry, it's loading. When you go to your orders, we're working on it. All right, so this is an order. This is what I don't like. I don't like it online, but I organize my phone by fulfillment date. So it'll show me the most urgent stuff first. This is not all Valentine's. We're looking at December here. So here's the one for tomorrow. I'm going to show you, this is what it looks like on your phone. It'll show you customer name, their information, what they bought, how it was paid for. You're done. You're ready to go. So right now I'm going to click that this is in progress. So she knows I'm working on it. Like I said, I'm done with that one already. I need to make it pretty, box it up and everything, but that one's ready. I don't like for my customers to know that I worked that far in advance. So I don't always do that. I kind of serve this as a reminder for them that, like, okay, they need to be paying attention to the fact that they got to come get cookies tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, I think she's picking up, it says 9:40. So she's picking up at 9:40 tomorrow. I will click that it's ready, probably when I get home from dropping my son off from school, so that if she does come by early, no problem, it's ready to go. If she comes on time, great, she's on time. If she comes a little late, they'll be out on my pickup table. But those serve as little reminders, and then I can click that it was picked up. And I've had a few people tell me that that's how they knew kind of where their husband is in the honey-do list, is that they'll get a text message to say, hey, your order was picked up. So that's kind of a really brief overview of the way that I do things. I feel like it keeps me organized. There was a lady that had mentioned that she likes to print out all of her orders. If she's got people helping her box things up and they kind of check, make sure they have everything ready to go. The question that she had asked was how to batch print them. I don't print mine, so I don't know. I don't know that it's possible. I played around with this a little bit the other day, trying to figure out if I could find a way to do that. And if it exists, I have no idea how to do it. So it may be a feature, it may not. It may really just be that it's a pain in the rear to print out each of those individually. But that's just not, I don't do that. But I have found that it is easy. I'm gonna out myself on how lazy I can be sometimes. I do not have a big house. My kitchen and my living room are not very far apart. I keep all my packaging stuff in the living room. Got like a card table, like a folding table. I just that's where they get all lined up. And then when it's time for them to go out on the front table, that's where they go. But my shred paper and all my BRP boxes and stuff like that stays under the table. So I will keep my phone in the kitchen and maybe my iPad or my husband's phone or insert device here in the living room and carry cookies back and forth. And while I'm packaging them, that's when I'm starting to click, okay, it's ready, it's going, it's whatever, wherever it is in the situation. So I guess that's the same thing kind of as printing everything out, but I don't print everything out. So I'm going to read through these questions. Do I build the cost? Sorry. Okay. Do you do invoices rather than people just purchasing directly from the website? Andrea, I do both. So when I do invoices, that's how I do my custom orders. When people purchase directly from the website, that's my pre-sale stuff. So it really kind of depends on what I'm doing. But yes, I do both. Do I build the cost of the fee into your price, or do you know it's part of doing business? It's part of doing business, cost of doing business. It is a tax deduction, and at the end of the year, Square has a really nice report that it sends out. I make a profit loss spreadsheet, so I try to stay on top of tracking my expenses throughout the year. I'm not awesome at that. Sometimes I get really far behind, but it is what it is. But yes, Square will say you made this much in your profits, or not in your profits, but they'll say you got this much and we took this much out in fees. And so I can literally just say, okay, Square took X amount of money out in fees this year, and that's a deduction. It's just part of it. I think there are some people that probably do build it in to the cost. I think that's probably going to be an up to you situation. I'm not saying that you can't, you know. How I hide the items. Yeah, Jen, I'll show you in just a second. How to hide them. What is your process when you have a large number of orders? How do you make sure you don't miss an order if it's not printed? So that's a really good question. I like to write things out. So when I go to bake, I bake a few days at a time. And I will just take the top days and I'll write out, okay, it's this set. It's, you know, whatever set it is. And then I write out the cutters that I need for it. And I'll just kind of tally mark it. And then I go back and just make sure, okay, Shelly has this in her order and I've baked those cookies. Sarah has this in her order and I've baked those cookies. That is probably not the best way to do things. It works for me. I am a dual planner kind of person. I need it on my phone so I can see it, but I also need to write it down or else it's gone. So that just is how it works best for me to physically write them out. Probably not the best use of my time, but I haven't recently missed any orders. Since I started really focusing on pre-sales and getting my life together and getting organized for this stuff, I missed orders at the beginning of my career here. I haven't in a long time doing it that way. And then in Square on the app, when you're clicking on your orders, I'm going to go back and see if I can show you this. Okay, it's going to take a hot minute to load, but when you go click on your orders, it grays them out if you've clicked on it. So this one is brand new. See, it says I can mark it as ready. It's not ready. Here's where you could print it if you wanted to. Like I said, I don't do that. But now when I go back into my orders, of course, it doesn't do it on the online, of course not, but it does on the phone. So it will be white if you haven't clicked on it at all, and it will be gray once you do click on it. So I find that helps me a little bit too. I hope that answered your question. I was sorry for rambling there. Shelly, I don't create an order form through Square. I use Google Forms. I have stumbled my way through that. But I think that there are a few lives on things like that. I know Google Forms and Jot Forms are the things that people use. like I said, I don't use it through Square. There is an option to do it, but I haven't done it. I liked the Google form, so that's how I do that. Okay, so I'm going to show you, somebody asked how to hide an item. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Oh, I think I was in online already. All right, so I go to Square Online, items, site items. And you guys are going to see everything that I have listed in my arsenal. But do you see how it says hidden here? So this is stuff that if you were to go to, I'm actually going to pull up my website right here and you can see. This is what my website looks like right now. It only has Valentine's stuff on it because these are the only things that I'm offering right now. So, I mean, here's Halloween stuff. This is Christmas stuff. If I decide I'm going to offer it again next year, all I have to do is click that it's not hidden anymore. But this is a like Galentine's, I guess, offering that I'm doing for Valentine's Day. So this is not hidden right now. You can see this right here on my website. But right here, you can click visible, hidden, or unavailable. Unavailable means nobody can purchase it at all. Hidden, if you change it to hidden, it will leave the website. But if somebody on your email list has the link to it, I'll show, if you want, I can show you how I do a marketing email real quick. But if they have the link to it, they can still order even though it's not on the website. So that's how I incentivize my email list people to get on the email list, is that they get access to pre-sales early, and that's how they do it. So it's just a click of a button. You can change it either way. I forgot to this year at when I started my pre-sales for everybody besides my email list, I forgot to unhide my items. So my scheduled post went out on Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, usually I get an order or two pretty quickly. It's not like they just come flooding in, but wonder what's happening. And I looked at my website and nothing is there. It's like, oh, that's on me. So went in and marked them all visible real quick. And you can do that in bulk too. If you put them in a category, you can, let's say Valentine, on all my Valentine's cookies, I've got 11 things in that category and I can mark them all. That's not how I do it. Sorry. You can mark them all as maybe it's in items. All right, well, what I'm getting at is that you can bulk mark them. So you don't have to go in if you have like 35. Here it is. You click items. You can action. Nope. I'm lying again. Sorry. There is a way, I swear. And I will figure it out and post it in the comments after this is done. But there is a way to bulk change the visibility on certain things, so you don't have to go into each item individually and click that button. I will figure out how to do that and I will let you know. Sorry, I'm reading comments here to see if I'm missing any questions. Website is given through Square and is included. Yes, Ruth, the website is given through Square. So mine, I set my domain to blessyourtartbakingco.square.site. I think if you pay for it, you can make your own, like www.blessyourtartbakingco.com. I don't do that. Like I said, I don't pay for any of this other than the fees that they take to process the credit cards. I'm totally happy having that as I don't care. That's totally fine. If it matters to you, if you want a www.yourwebsite.com, there is a way to do that through Square. I don't do it though. So it's only viewed if you have a Square website. You can do it with any website. I'm not sure. Laura, if you want to clarify the question you're asking, and I'll try and answer it, but I'm not super tech savvy. I have just kind of stumbled my way through Square. let's see. Maureen, I've set my products to services, not items, that will allow pickup. It's still asking customers for a shipping address on my online shop. You can remove shipping entirely, so bear with me here. If you go to online, it's going. Give it a second. Fulfillment, pickup and delivery or shipping. So I'm in Texas. I don't ship. We can't. I don't have anything here filled out. Pickup and delivery, you can also, let's see, general checkout. Let's see if it's in here. Here, okay. Maureen, try this. If you go to online, settings, checkout, go down here and see if you can edit your advanced settings and click it has to be pickup. See if that solves your problem. I also recently started setting my items to, I think it's like a food and beverage category. That's new, at least since Christmas time. I didn't see it at Christmas. So, I don't know. I've never had that problem that people have been having recently where things are showing out of stock, even though the stock is turned on and there is stock there. So fingers crossed I don't run into it. I'm not really sure how to fix it. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let me show y'all something too. This helped me exponentially. This year I had a bunch of stuff going on. My family and I got to take some trips towards the end of the year. When we go see my father-in-law, he is 5 hours away from us, so we are super not home. So I was still accepting customs last year. I still had some pre-designed sets on my website that people could purchase and gift kind of thing. So I didn't want them to be ordering while we weren't home. So if you go to online fulfillment, pickup and delivery, you can see your location. This is my address. Hello. You click edit. You can decide if you want them to have a curbside pickup. I don't. I make my people come to the door. Sorry, guys. Sometimes y'all don't want me running out to your car, I promise. So if you have this on, it will instruct them to call you or text you or something when they get there, and then you can go run the cookies out to them if you want that personal interaction with them. I'm not sociable enough for that. I don't do that. But if you go to order timing, I have a 2 business day lead time on here. So if somebody was to order something right now, it's 12:36 p.m. The earliest that they could pick it up would be Saturday at 2:36 p.m. It gives me time to kind of get my life together. I haven't found the best, medium there. I don't want, I could set a 2-week lead time if I wanted to, but if people are ordering for Valentine's stuff, we all know that that is a last minute holiday. I don't want them to miss out on it. Now if I'm sold out, I'm sold out, and I've set my stock online. Sorry if you can't get to what you wanted, you should have ordered earlier. But if they're my husband, God love him, is notorious for getting stuff last minute. I don't want husbands to be in a bind because I have a 2-week lead time on here. If I can accept stuff within 2 days, fine, I'm going to do it. They can schedule pickup orders. I don't do delivery, so that's off of there. But this has changed my life right here. Somebody asked the other day if you can do modifiers on an item. So where a customer can select a pickup time and date, and you can, but it doesn't, Square doesn't hold them to that. So if you set a modifier on your account to pick up on, let's say you have your pickups as only, the 12th? I don't even know. Let's pretend the 12th is Saturday. I think it might be, but let's say the 12th at between 10 and 2, or the 13th between 4 and 6. If you put that in your item modifiers, that's fine and dandy, and they can pick that all they want. Square's not going to hold them to that, and they can still set their pickup time for whenever. So if you restrict it, if you set restricted dates, we had a COVID wedding last year, so this was our wedding reception that we had already paid for. So I blocked off the whole week because I was making my own wedding cookies. we got married. We had our vow renewal, reception, whatever. And then I just didn't want to be working the next few days after that. So people could not order. If they tried to order that day and my website was still on, they can order for the 9th because, I didn't have it set for the 9th. But they couldn't order any time before that. It would tell them that time was unavailable. So if you want to, you could block out the 1st through the 11th of February, and they can only pick the days leading up to Valentine's Day. So it takes a little bit of kind of finagling on the back end, if you will, but it can save you a ton of time and hassle and really keep your customers to the schedule that you want them on. This is your business. I get that we try to be as accommodating as we can, but that's also how you get burnt out. So if you say, okay, look, I'm cool with you guys being at my house these 2 days from this time, great. Set it like that. And then you can come up here and set your hours. Your parameters for your hours for when they can come pick it up. So you can kind of maneuver their pickups that way. Let's see. Use Google Forms in the past. Just yesterday. Nice. All right. Lee, yes, I am in New Braunfels, actually. So close, but not quite San Antonio, but yes, we are in New Braunfels. I love it here. Go Spurs, go. Jen, I have my items listed as food, but before that was an option, I think I had them listed as just a physical item. I don't know if I've ever, before I had them listed as prepared food and beverage, they were listed as physical, and that worked just fine for me. Tony, my family is in the Dallas area. My father-in-law is all in Athens, Tyler, Palestine, right up there. So we're up in your neck of the woods all the time. Okay, let's say I have a GoDaddy website. Can I use this and get all my information on the Square app, or do I need to set up a Square? I have no idea, Laura. I'm sorry. I think it would probably be that you have to kind of, unfortunately, take that time and redo everything, so to speak. But I would get on the phone with Square customer service. They are wonderful. And they'll probably be able to answer that question for you a heck of a lot better than I can. And I don't want you to have to do all that work when it is an option for them to kind of import that stuff. I just don't know. Ruth, yes. Right now I'm just doing holidays. And if I can coordinate a pop-up, I will. I've never done one, so I'm terrified to do it. But that is on the list for this year. I burnt myself out on customs last year. This is my full-time job. So I thought that I was going to have a bunch of extra time. I quit my corporate job and yay me. And I just didn't go back after maternity leave last year, and I was all excited about it. And then I completely burnt myself out, and I spent less time with my kids than I thought that I did before, and it just wasn't worth it. So until I can reel myself in and keep myself to that work-life balance, I'm only doing holiday pre-sales, and I have actually made more doing that and designing the sets that I want to and selling the stuff that I want to sell so far than I did with customs. And I find that I can work a lot more efficiently that way. So yes, that is the way that I am running my business this year. Obviously, y'all do whatever y'all want to do. This is what's working for me in the season in life that I'm in right now. I still take a custom order here and there. Like a dear friend of mine is turning 40 mid-month next month, and I'm doing her cookies. I did my best friend's wedding cookies earlier this year. But really kind of limiting it to the stuff that brings me joy, and I'm loving it. Loving it. Because I hated this job last year, and which is ridiculous because it's my job, my business, the things that I enjoy doing, and I burnt myself out so badly that I was crying every day, just hated it. So I knew something had to change this year. So yes, that's how I'm doing it. Brittany, I'm reading yours right now. Had an issue in regards to the actual pickup dates before. Put a disclaimer on the top of the page. Yeah, people don't read. I would, if I were you, go through and set your fulfillment to the parameters that you want. You can still have that modifier and you can still try and get people to pay attention to it, but if they don't pay attention to it, and Square, like I said, Square doesn't hold that the Square doesn't read it the way that we want them to when you just set it as an item modifier. So people are going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to read what they're going to feel like reading. And if you want those parameters to be strict, I would set your fulfillment like that. I do, Alicia, set my Square to track inventory. I can show you how you do that if you want. Let's see. Go. Sorry, I'm loading it. Okay, so I'm just picking an item that I'm selling currently. So this is I did a personalized set. It's a I heart you and then just a personalized heart. It is visible. I set my stock. I think I set it to 50 when I started, before I launched my pre-sale, I loaded this all in there. You can update it. So if I say, oh crap, I'm out of boxes and it's not going to get here in time, then I can say whatever reason you want here, inventory recount, stock received. That's how you have to do it to set it up. So if you say, yes, I want to track stock, I have 50 of them that I'm willing to do. So you set it as 50 and then it'll start counting down. So I guess I've sold, 27? I'm terrible with math. Well, if it's not 27, don't tell me. So that's how I track the stock. That's how I kind of hold myself accountable and try and prevent overworking myself while still making the amount of money that I would like to make. Like I said, if I ran out of boxes, if I was just like, all right, look, I overestimated this, it's too much of these, I can set this down to 0, and then they can't order any more of that. How do I put my pickup address in the confirmation email to check out instead of the cart where anyone can see it? It is in the cart. I don't know how to not put it on there. It is also in the confirmation email. But yeah, unfortunately, it is on the cart. If there is a way to take it out of the cart and only put it in the email, I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. Pop-ups are fun. I know, I'm just scared. I really want to. I've had good luck at like markets and stuff, but I feel like a pop-up is a market that I just don't have to pay to be part of. I'm just psyching myself out and convincing myself that nobody will show up. Let's see, under site terms, click item and scroll down to modifier. Nice, Lauren, that's a good tip. Cool. I did not know that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's about all I had. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. If you're watching the replay of this and you've got questions, feel free to send me a message or comment here. I'm going to try and pay attention to. This is my first live, so I don't really know how it works after this, but I will figure it out. I am going to try and post those screenshots I said I would post on there of what the apps look like on your phone and kind of go from there. But if anybody has any more questions, I'm here for, I don't know, I think we slotted this for an hour. So I'm here for however long y'all need. Or, like I said, send me a message. I'm happy to answer it to the best of my ability. I'm for sure not an expert on any of this, but I have stumbled my way through it and taken a lot of probably working too hard and too much to figure out, oh, hey, there's a better way to do that. So I'd love to save you that time if I can. Thank you guys. Y'all are so sweet. I love this group. Okay, well then I am going to head out. If y'all, like I said, if you need anything, send me a message. Thank you guys, and thank you, Corey and Heather. I don't know how, I'm convinced that there's like triplets or something because there's no way that y'all do everything you do in 24 hours. But thank you guys for everything. This is awesome. Y'all good luck.